What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at. Apparently, I think it was just yesterday. Apparently, Chicago public school system reported that ICE had showed up to a elementary school in Chicago. Now, things have changed about this report. Apparently, it was Secret Service that showed up to, see about a threat that had happened online towards Donald Trump. And, I don't understand how people can mistake Secret Service for ICE. The badges look totally different. The clothing that they're going to have on is totally different. You're going to clearly see that the ICE logo on the ICE agents' clothing, biggest day. I don't understand how people are, and then, they're getting people riled up and things like that about ICE showing up to elementary school. Man, they're just going overboard. So listen, look, we're going to start diving off into this. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Chicago public school officials telling us federal agents showed up at the door today, but were turned away. And now, in the last few minutes, a rather wild development. Let's bring in Sabrina Franza now. Sabrina, the story is changing minute by minute, and a lot of questions remain.
Hi, Joe. We just received a statement from the Department of Homeland Security who told us that there were no immigration enforcement actions at or near a school in the entire city of Chicago today. Very confusing after CPS came out and told us that ICE was here on campus trying to gain access to the school. And then we reached out to ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement federal agency, who told us they were not here today. The principal of the school came out and told us that ICE was here at the school trying to gain access around 11:15 this morning. And they said they did not gain entry. They were stopped at the front by CPS staff, as is their protocol.
Our security and clerk team followed the protocols that we've been trained and practiced and have discussed. And due to that, we were able to ensure the safety of our school and all of our students.
Now, right now, it is not clear who those officers were, how many people were here, if they were looking for anyone in particular, or if they had a warrant to do so with them. We tried asking CPS those questions, and they have not told us those specifics. Coincidentally, the CEO of Chicago Public Schools, Pedro Martinez, sent out this letter to parents today, adding, quote, "As we've said many times, CPS does not ask for the immigration status of our students or families and will not cooperate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement or ICE agents who come to our school unless they have a criminal judicial warrant signed by a federal judge. Even in that rare instance, we have a team of lawyers available at all times to review those warrants." Now, this is one community that has been particularly concerned about ICE's arrival. Neighbors telling us they ran outside when they started to hear commotion in light of President Trump's immigration-related executive orders, now allowing ICE agents into schools and churches and promises of mass deportations. The president of Chicago's Teachers Union says this has never happened before.
Look, this is unprecedented. This is something that none of us have ever dealt with. So we are creating systems and protocols as we need them.
Now, to reiterate, lots of confusion here on the ground. Department of Homeland Security, again, has said that there were no immigration actions at this school or in the entire city of Chicago at a school today. ICE says they were not here. But again, CPS and the principal of Hamline Elementary says they saw ICE agents here this morning.
Okay, so clearly they say they saw ICE agents and things like that. But obviously, this is totally false. They're out here panicking. And, I kind of get it. But at the same time, though, too, this is where we at in the country. We have to get these things under control. And these people are not playing around. ICE is not playing around. They're trying to get these illegals up out of here. Saying most definitely the ones that are committing heinous crimes. Now, apparently, it's probably not going to be too many people that are committing heinous crimes at a elementary school. But the thing of this is that instead of these people actually taking, because I'm pretty sure the officers gave them some type of information of who they were, showed some type of ID, about who they specifically were. And I guarantee you the badges and everything looks totally different from ICE and Secret Service. So we're going to keep going. And yes, of course, we're narrowing this thing down. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Thanks, Emily. A false alarm on the city's southwest side when Chicago Public Schools officials mistake federal officers for ICE agents. It caused fear and chaos at a back of the yards elementary school.
Tonight, CPS is responding. Our Casey Cronus is live downtown with the latest. Casey.
CPS says this was all a misunderstanding, but has yet to apologize for causing confusion. Meanwhile, Mayor Brandon Johnson took to X tonight, writing, "It is imperative that people do not spread unverified information that sparks fear across the city."
Now, I agree with Mayor Johnson on that particular point right there. But listen, look, if Mayor Johnson had been doing the right thing, Chicago wouldn't be having these problems. Let's just keep that 100.
In the city's back of the yards neighborhood near 48th and Bishop, Hamline Elementary School families were thrown into confusion when Chicago Public Schools leaders announced that ICE agents showed up Friday morning. They say staff followed protocols, kept them outside, and contacted CPS's law department. It caused disarray among parents and in a frenzy. State and local lawmakers who believed agents were there to raid the school took to social media, calling it cruel, traumatizing for children, and sickening. CPS CEO Pedro Martinez even went on MSNBC to talk about it.
For an individual to be able to either ask for information or to even talk to our students or staff, not only do they have to have the proper credentials, but they also have to have a valid judicial order, a court order.
But it wasn't ICE that showed up to the school. They quickly debunked the claim. And instead, the U.S. Secret Service says they were in the neighborhood responding to a threat from a student related to the TikTok ban. They first responded to an area home, but the person they were looking for wasn't there, so they went to the school. That's where Secret Service officials say they handed off their business card and left.
So Secret Service went there, handed off a business card that I'm clearly sure it says Secret Service on said business card. They're not going to hand a Secret Service agent is not going to hand you an ICE card and vice versa. And these people just blew them. They're so panicked out here. And this is a part of what, you know what I'm saying, the mayor and the governor of this particular city and state is doing out here. Instead of actually figuring out a way to really cooperate with ICE to get the illegals a decent, humane way, and then won't have ICE out in neighborhoods and stuff like this, panicking normal people and stuff like that. Even the ones that are undocumented but just working and things like that. But you know, we're talking about getting the criminals out here, and the criminals are going to be in the neighborhoods unless they get arrested. But of course, Sanctuary City releases them immediately. But I guarantee you, though, as an American citizen, you get your dumb ass out there, you do something stupid, they gonna keep you behind them bars.
So what the French toast is there to
Yeah, they gonna keep you. But they gonna let Jose and Jose and the rest of them go. Shit, man, this is crazy. And now you start in panic at this school and stuff, and the people that, you know, came there are not even part of ICE. People need to learn how to read, because this is ridiculous. I guarantee you that car said nothing about ICE agents.
For hours, CPS could not be reached for comment. Just before 7 p.m., they issued this statement, writing in part, "Our original communication was a result of a misunderstanding, reflective of the fear and concerns in the community amid the new administration's focus on undocumented immigrants." The school's response demonstrates that our system, in partnership with community organizations, is prepared and ready to keep our students and staff safe. Brandon Lee from the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights says regardless of who showed up, it's important that school officials took the right steps.
It's understandable that there's heightened concern among the community, and we're glad that people remain looking out for one another, and we're glad that the school took this precaution today.
No further information was made available about that student's threat regarding the TikTok ban. And in Mayor Johnson's statement, he also added resources about knowing your rights for community members. We'll link that on our website.
Knowing your rights as an illegal immigrant in America. Okay, but my thing of this is too, also, I have to blame this kid, whoever this child was that made this online threat. You have to hold that child accountable too. That's the only reason why the Secret Service agents really showed up, was because of what that child had did online. Let's just keep this 100 out here. So I got one more for you guys. And yeah, we're about to go here now and check this part out. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Secret Service responds to Chicago school agents say a main report of ICE encounter. Here we go. All right, let's check this one out now. Make sure I got it backtrack. Okay. All right.
We're going to get right to those breaking details on what was an encounter this morning that sparked a lot of confusion at a Chicago school. We've been trying to get some answers on this. Tonight, the Secret Service tells us it was their agents who visited Hamline Elementary School in the back of the yards as part of an investigation unrelated to immigration enforcement. But that incident sparked concerns about enforcement in the community. NBC5's V. Wynn joining us live from the school with what we know so far, trying to get some answers, but also some reaction from parents there. V?
Yes, guys, we just confirmed within the last 30 minutes or so that Secret Service agents showed up at the school today. They were investigating a threat that was made. You know, this has caused a lot of fear and anxiety and worry for so many people in this community, initially thinking that this was related to immigration enforcement. So this is what we know so far. According to Chicago Public Schools, several people showed up at the school around 11:15 this afternoon, presented credentials, and identified themselves as ICE agents. CPS leaders say security and staff immediately followed protocols and did not allow these agents inside while they assessed the situation. The Department of Homeland Security now telling us it was not ICE, it was not an ICE encounter. And now within the last 30 minutes or so, we can confirm that agents with the Secret Service was conducting an investigation. A federal spokesperson telling us they were investigating a threat made to one of their protectees, This was in reference to the recent TikTok ban. That investigation led them to a home next to the school, then over to the school. As part of their investigation, we heard from the president of the Chicago Principals and Administrators Association about the steps taken earlier to ensure the safety of students.
It seems like to me that the principal here handled it well. She kept them from coming into the school. She called her boss, the network chief. The network showed up. Safety and security showed up. We walked in. All the CPS was there supporting the principal, supporting the students, supporting the parents. And it looked like this is an example of all of us, the unions, management, teachers union, principals union, management, everybody working together to make sure the kids here were safe.
Again, CPS leaders say security and staff have been trained. They've been preparing for this and say they'll continue to follow guidance. So unless a court order or a federal warrant is presented, ICE agents will not be permitted related to any immigration enforcement. But as you can imagine, this is causing a lot of confusion, a lot of anxiety for neighbors and parents who have kids attending the school.
Yeah, because not only my granddaughter, is more kids in there, they're not got no papers. You know, it's not fair. They're little kids.
I feel bad for all those children. They should leave the school alone. That's sanctuary right there. So that
they see, this is the problem when we get false information out here in the real world. This is the problem. Do you hear these people talking? They should leave the kids alone. No, they're little kids. Nobody's there for. Listen, look. ICE did not show up to this school. Clearly, Secret Service did. Clearly, Secret Service gave these people the proper credentials that they need to know that it was Secret Service and not ICE. Now, if these dingbats didn't do the due diligence to read the paper or call the authorities of call the card, the information on the card that was given to them to see who it actually was, or this and that, which I'm pretty sure, I bet my last dollar on it that when Secret Service gave them that card or information stuff, it clearly said Secret Service on there. I guarantee you did. And these people are just, they should leave the kid. Nobody, listen, look, if that child hadn't have been online making threats about some fucking TikTok, crashing out about TikTok, wouldn't nobody been showing up to the school in the first place? ICE ain't showing up to schools like that. That's not where the criminals are hanging out.
That's, they should leave the kids in school. They shouldn't come and play with them.
Rapid response teams made up of volunteers from different organizations also responded today. As school was letting out, they provided families with know your rights information just in case. So back out here live again, a lot of moving parts and a lot of things developing. So initially, officials here at the school thought that they were confronted by ICE agents at the school related to an immigration investigation enforcement, The Department of Homeland Security telling us it was not an ICE encounter. The Secret Service now telling us that they were conducting an investigation, a threat made to one of their protectees involving the recent TikTok ban. So again, a lot of confusion, a lot of anxiety for folks here, but that is the most latest updated information that we have. It was Secret Service agents conducting an investigation involving that threat. That is the very
right. And this is where we at. This is crazy right here. And people are just crashing out. Oh my goodness, ICE is coming to arrest children. And see, these are the things that are the mistakes necessarily, or the misinformation that's going to happen here throughout this situation with arresting all these illegals. This is going to be the misinformation. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep harping on this. I have to blame that child, whoever that was, for making that threat, bringing that type of heat on that school. It's that child's fault.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Get that doggone internet out of whatever kid hands this is. It's that child's fault. Whoever that child was that made that threat online. Of course, you made threats to government officials. Secret Service is going to come see about you, especially after what just happened this past election with Donald Trump they tried to assassinate him 2-3 times. So of course they're going to check on shit like this. Of course they're going to check on threats. No, regardless of where they at, school, your home, business, wherever. Of course Secret Service is coming to check on this. Now, people got to wake up, man, and stop being so timid and things like that. This is what's going down here. This is what the country voted for. Not this type of situation in particular, but there's also such thing as collateral damage. Now, I'm not saying that the children need to be disturbed. No, I don't think they ought to be disturbed. But my thing of this is like I said, that child is whatever child that was made that threat. That's what brought the heat down on this school. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.